Is Apple evil? It's the waning minutes of Friday. It's about to be Saturday. I was laying in bed and I couldn't sleep, so I came down here and went and checked Infowars.com. Then went over to the Drudge Report, and it said shock photos of Steve Jobs. And we've all had family or friends that are terminally ill, and you know the look. But he appears like they actually took him out of a crypt. He's skinnier than an Egyptian mummy. And he has the look of the angel of death all over him. And that's too bad. You know, I had an intention earlier in the week to actually have an open letter to Steve Jobs, but it ended up just turning into a news article called Is Apple Evil? And then I did a news report on it last night and pointed out the fact that Apple always grandstands like this big humanitarian organization, but it's got some of the worst slave wage factories and suicides in China. And it pushes a lot of globalism, a lot of corporate frauds. They got Al Gore on their board. And I think they have interesting products. I know they're part of social engineering systems, and they actually program us, not the other way around. I mean, I get all that. And then the other founder of Apple, we covered it in the piece last night, says that we're a little more than animals and the machines are going to take over. But I just want to point out that these guys are human, like everybody else. And TMZ's got these photos. You can go to Drudge and link through it. Just go to TMZ or type in Steve Jobs after the resignation. And I don't think this little cell phone will pick it up, but you look at that wraith-like overall look, and the size of his legs and his knees. He is in super, super bad shape. You can still see the consciousness in his eyes. Death comes for us all. And I need to get that open letter out to him with some real codified plans. Because we do have millions of listeners, and undoubtedly, if he's not too far gone with his handlers, at least the information will probably end up going across his computer, across his desk. And for people out there that say, "Oh, Alex, don't think that you could actually reach out to somebody," we've had the White House respond to us. We reach tens of millions of people a week now. But it's not just about Steve Jobs that I'm concerned. It's just to everybody. We're so haughty. We're so full of ourselves. And he took on the whole Buddhist, trendy, liberal mystique, but all his actions, cold-blooded corporatist, transhumanist, globalist, one-worlder. And then you see him shriveled up, and before he dies, you want to reach out to him, and because a lot of times these guys right before death will actually wake up. I mean, Apple could do so many things. Because of all the slave goods out there, I like Apple. I'm shooting this on an iPhone. It's an Apple computer I was just showing you. It's not perfect, but it's better than a lot of the PC garbage. The point is, I've been using Apple products for 20 years. And I know I'm hypocritical even owning them because they're made in some of the worst conditions out there. But I point that hypocritical behavior out. I'm not up here grandstanding as the big global government carbon tax pushers because I'm so trendy and cool. You know how thoughts are so clear, and then you start shooting a video and there's just a million different points you can make so you don't make any of them. There's a lot of things that Steve Jobs could do. A big thing would be make it his dying wish, because there's no doubt he's not long for this world. I'd give him a month, 2 months maybe. He is a survivor. Most people die of that pancreatic cancer in a year, over 95%. He survived, what, almost 7 years? But money and power, there's a lot of life extension technologies, even with something that knocks out almost everybody within 2. They could do a lot of different things. They could certify that they're paying the living wage and have a stamp that they push and challenge other major corporations to do, and that would actually lift up humanity and demand more quality. You see, when McDonald's 50 years ago put out signs saying thank you on the trash cans to get you to have self-destructive ideas about service, it didn't cheapen the price. It didn't give you a better experience. It just started a race to the bottom. And that's what globalism really is. When we demand more service, when we demand more quality, it lifts up the entire civilization. It creates more jobs. But these transhumanists have this view of the future doesn't need us and humanity's a bunch of garbage. And here's another point I want to make. Humanity is very ugly and disgusting from one angle, from one perspective, but also from another perspective, very beautiful. And that goes back to my point about striving for the stars, striving for beauty, for goodness, for honor. Because if you don't try that, if you don't at least attempt it, you slide into abject barbarism and a road warrior, very ugly society very quickly. And I started doing more of the research this week, going back over stuff I've learned over the years about Apple. It's basically NSA, DARPA connected, just like Microsoft, just like IBM, pre-CIA, pre-DARPA, literally charted that whole system. And I just know this guy's into some really evil stuff. And when you see these globalists getting ready to die, you just wish they'd turn to good. Because after he passes that river Styx, after he gives chart on the coins, he won't be in this plane anymore and able to affect things and change his destiny. I don't even hate the New World Order controllers anymore. I just really feel sorry for them.